22 for Cherry Hill West. That's Jack Norton. He's 0-2 as a junior, going against Mark Vanderburg, also a junior with a 5-4 record from Cherry Hill East.
This will be only Jack's third match varsity. This is also his first year wrestling.
Definitely a building year for Coach Joe Albany for Cherry Hill West. Wait for the clock tick.
Jack goes right for the takedown. He's got a double leg. Out of bounds.
Vanderburg goes for the takedown. Nobody's in control as of yet. You can see Norton with the legs trying to control his opponent. There's the control by Vanderburg for 2 points.
All right. And the referee will bring him back into the middle.
This is considered the referee's position. Disadvantaged wrestler is Jack Norton. He's in a down position. Advantage goes to Vanderburg. There's an escape for one, and he turns right around trying to take control, but they go out of bounds. Points in this match 2-1 in favor of Mark Vanderburg of Cherry Hill East.
Looks like Mark's got another takedown.
Picks up two more. Wood taking control of Norton. And it looks like he's trying to get that cradle. He's got it hit if he can roll him.
He's got his hands locked if he can only bring him back.
But you can see Norton's leg out almost perpendicular to his body to prevent Vanderburg from rolling him over. 40 seconds remaining in the first period. Got him rolled. Making a pin for Mark Vanderburg at 26 seconds of the first period. Going to bring up the 129 weight class will be John McCall of Cherry Hill West. He's a junior with an 0-5 record, going against a real tough competitor, senior for Cherry Hill East, Joe Corby, one of the co-captains, at a 9-2. A lot of people may know Joe's dad. He's the head football coach at Stepford High School. Corby, a very aggressive wrestler, goes right after his opponent. And, of course, these wrestlers know each other's records, and they know a little bit about each other before they go out there. But Corby, I've seen Corby wrestle a couple times in the past few years, and always a very extreme, rapid-type wrestler. He just goes right after his man. And looks like we have an injury by Corby right now. Where is McCall hurt? Pick up the injury, Michael?
Hard to tell.
So while we have a stop in the action, I'd like to make a special thanks to John Nottingham and Dennis McCauley and the crew for installing the cable from the gymnasium here at Cherry Hill West down to the AV room that makes this live telecast possible. Thanks a lot, guys. As usual, doing a fine job.
All right. John's just been called a warning for stalling.
All right, what that means is that he's not aggressively going at his opponent, and 2 warnings for stalling. You give up a surrender a point to the opponent. Now they're in the what's called the referee's position. That first step they take always must be in the direction of the opponent, or it be a warning for stalling. There's 2-point takedown by Corby. Minute 10 left in the first period. We're live at Cherry Hill High School West, the Jones Gymnasium. Sister school rivalry, Cherry Hill East and Cherry Hill West. One point escape being awarded to McCall, but then taken right back in by Joe Corby. Picked up an additional 2. And let's see if he's going to get some back points. 3 being awarded. 2 being awarded to Corby.
All right, Joe lets him back up. 1 point for McCall.
27 seconds remaining in the first period.
Joe brings it back down to the mat. It's another 2 points.
You can see Corby take a glance up to the clock. Again, he lets him up, gives up 1 point. They're in the up position or the neutral position.
You'll see Joe will let him up after taking him down because this year there is no more riding time. There was an advantage to keeping a wrestler down on the mat. Last year, you could be awarded points at the end of the match. This year, there is no points awarded for keeping a wrestler down on the mat.
That's a new rule to me. I just heard that. I'm glad you brought that up.
So that's why Corby's letting him right back up.
Also, he can pick up some additional points for the takedown after he lets him up too, right?
Right.
Corby appears to be being a little tentative out there at this point.
Looks like Corby's going to get some more back points here.
See if Corby can pull this in. 1 minute remaining in the second period. And Corby decides to let him up.
Take 3 from that.
3 gets up, lets him up, loses 1. He'll go for 2 again. The score now, I believe, is 17 to 5. A lot of points accumulated by the young man from Cherry Hill East.
Corby in for another takedown. He's got it. Another 2 points. Got 30 seconds left in the second period.
And McCall gets out of it.
Now 21-6 in favor of Joe Corby. Beast.
Takes him down with a bar roll, looked like that time.
That's called a jap roll. Corby takes the down position. McCall up. Corby goes right to a stand-up. Gets the reversal. 2 points for Corby.
Looks like Corby just looks the situation over and says, well, this is going to be too much trouble to try to pull him in here. And it looks like the official, Fred Rapp, going over to talk to head coach Frank McAleer about something.
Wrestlers get a little breather here.
could be that Rapp's sort of asking Corby just what's happening out there. And there is a penalty for stalling, but I don't know if there's any penalty for maybe you'd call it showboating or something. Showboating. Okay, Cherry Hill East has just lost one of their team points for an unsportsmanlike conduct call. That's one of the first times, if not the first time I've ever seen that called. Michael?
Usually it's for maybe someone shouting from the bench or an obscenity by the wrestler.
Wrestlers don't do that out there, do they? No obscenity. Whatever, looks like it got Corby a little upset because it looks like Joe's trying to pull that pin in this time.
And the call is a little tied up down there.
Corby looks up at the clock.
A little over a minute left in this match.
3 more points being awarded to Corby. Make it 21 to 6 or 31. 31 to 6. He's trying to pull that pin on McCall now.
McCall's going to his back again. Corby's got 3 points so far.
You could see the strain on McCall's face trying to fight it. 49 seconds remaining in this match.
McCall trying to bridge out of it. It's going to be tough.
"37 seconds. And McCall is really exerting a lot of energy here.
The ref gets down there with the wrestlers just to make sure that the shoulder blades, if they are touching or not.
There it is.
That's the pin.
At the 22nd point of the third period, Joe Corby comes up with the pin, making the score 24 to 6. Remember, Glenn Crump for Cherry Hill West pinned his opponent with 45 seconds remaining in the third period at 1:15. Or excuse me, 23. Forgot to deduct that 1 point. We'll try to find out exactly what happened to that point, or just what that call was. It's going to bring us up to the 135-pound weight class. Andy Feinberg, 3-8, a junior, on the mat right now for Cherry Hill West. Took third place in the Edgewood tournament, coming up against another junior for Cherry Hill East, Ron Marsh, with a record of 2-5.
Andy goes for the single leg. He got it. He picked it up. Goes to the double. That move is called a hefter. He's got a leg, and then you get his head in the air. Bring him down to the mat. Andy's got the takedown. No back points as of yet. Morris is really tied up in there. So he's sliding out of bounds, and they'll come back into the middle.
It's one of those times where Ron Morris sort of turned around, looked at Coach McAleer, and said, "Coach, what happened? How'd this happen to me getting in this situation?" Morris tries to stand up out of it. Feinberg pulls him back down to the mat.
All right, Andy's riding high on him. And he gets back behind.
Both of these young men juniors. Again, Cherry Hill East in the red, Cherry Hill West in the purple.
Andy's trying to bring him back to the mat. He does. The sitting right on the outline now. Andy's doing a good job of riding him, keeping him down on the mat. But as I said before, he won't get any points for that.
However, in the same token, the opponent won't put any more points against you if you control him down there. So there's still a lot to be said for controlling the wrestler if you can. Feinberg looks to be a much better wrestler than his 3-8 record would indicate.
He has been wrestling for 3 years, and he had some varsity experience last year. All right, Andy sticks the leg in. He tries to spin to try and break Morris down. Now he's got a leg and an arm. It takes Morris to his back. He's got some points.
As you can see at home, these wrestlers do use every contrivable means of controlling their opponents. And of course, controlling the leg is such an important part of this sport.
When a wrestler has a leg in like that, it's extremely difficult to get it out of there. The ref will bring it back into the center. Andy picks up 2 back points. Score now 6-0.
.40 seconds remaining in the second period with the 135-pound weight class.
Feinberg is still riding the Eastman. Now Feinberg had the airplane. He lost it. All right, come to the end of the second period.
Score is 6 points for Andy Feinberg of Cherry Hill West, 0 for Ron Morris of Cherry Hill East. And we have an injury timeout called by Feinberg.
Looks like Feinberg might have some blood in his mouth.
Ron Morris will be in the advantage position of the referee's position, meaning on top, and Feinberg wants to escape from that as soon as possible, pick up some more points.
Feinberg's got a switch and a reversal. 2 points for Feinberg. Score now 8-0. And Feinberg goes back to riding the Eastman. And they go right out of bounds, bring it back into the middle.
Feinberg now with an 8-2 zip lead. Should pick up 4 points if he holds on to this in a decision. In a major decision, and then there's a superior decision if he accumulates over 12 points more than his opponent, which would be 5 points, and of course 6 points for the pins. We really didn't talk too much about the scoring. Ron Morris from Cherry Hill East right now just looking for a way out. Feinberg all over him.
Got 30 seconds left in this match, and Andy's still controlling.
Of course, Feinberg right now does not want to give up any points to his opponent, Mars, because that would cost the team points. He'd love to get it turned and get a pin and pick up the 6. But right now he knows he has 4 if he can hold it. There it is. That makes the score 23 team points for Cherry Hill East, 10 now for Cherry Hill West with that decision by Feinberg, and that's our first decision of the evening. All pins up until that point. That's going to bring us to 141 with Art Brown in the purple from Cherry Hill West. 1-4 record, a senior, against John Sass of Cherry Hill East. No varsity record.
Eastman has looks like almost about a foot height advantage over Art, which could work either way. Usually the tall man has better leverage on the mat, but the short man with takedowns can usually get their legs easier.
Good move by Brown. Cannot hold control, and they're both in the up position. No points awarded. And the wrestlers go out. You're enjoying this telecast on Channel 34, cable channel. That's the Cherry Hill Education channel. Yours truly, Jim Powell, along with Michael Goldman, bringing you the match between the Cougars of Cherry Hill East and the Lions of Cherry Hill West.
There's still yet to be a takedown in this match. Little less than a minute left in the first period.
Here's Art Brown, more of the aggressor in this match, but John Sass having some good counter moves thus far. Seems like Art Brown keeps running out of room. He's running out of mat, almost ready for the takedown. All of a sudden, they're out of bounds, and they start over.
John's been the one trying for the takedown, Art countering him, but keeps running out of mat. John goes for the takedown again. Can't get it. John almost had what's called an ankle pick there, but he ran out of mat this time. Six seconds left in the first period, and it's still 0-0. East will be up to start the second period.
Art Brown on the bottom, trying to figure out some way to get an escape or reversal to pick up some points.
Almost had it.
And again, he runs out of room.
Looks like these wrestlers need a bigger mat.
There again, some of that could be caused by the By the height of John Sass' stride as he moves, it doesn't take too many steps to step across this mat. Art Brown not being able to get an escape or a reversal.
John's got pretty good control of him at this point. That's a Navy ride as he's got his hands in between Art's legs, but Art gets out of it.
Of course, John now moves up top, trying to take control of the upper body.
All right, they're going to stand up. Looks like they're going to run out of mat again.
There they go.
Back into the middle.
Still no score at all in this match. We're just about at the halfway point of 141 between Art Brown of Cherry Hill West and John Sass of Cherry Hill East. No points being awarded to either wrestler.
Art, almost had the escape there.
And again, they run out of mat. .45 seconds remaining in the second period.
And Sass goes right to a cradle, brings Art back. You might get a couple back points out of this.
Well, unless he gets them up higher than that, I don't think he's going to award him any. Well, I'm wrong.
Score 3-0 in favor of John Sass from East. Ten seconds left in this period. Sass still has control.
And Art Brown is going to find himself in big problems coming into this next period. He's going to be on top or in the
riding
controlling position. Going to have to let him go, I'm afraid. Give up at one point, then go for two to pick up some points. Otherwise, even if he just kept him down for the whole period, he's still not going to come up with those three unless he can make a move, get him into a pin situation, a near pin, or get the fall. We'll see.
Art looks like he's trying for the pin.
Looks like he's trying to work a half Nelson to turn him. Well, you can see the interlocking of the legs. It's John Sass trying to keep control of Art Brown's legs a little bit and take away his leverage.
That lock that Art has on his leg right now is called a ball and chain. They run out of mat again and bring him back into the middle. Minute 22 left in this match. They have John Sass ahead, 3-0. Sass gets the reversal. That'll bring the score up to 5-0.
5-0 in favor of the young man from Cherry Hill East with only a minute 6 remaining in this match. Art Brown really has to pull a slick move, and basically he really needs a pin. Sass moves right to the cradle.
This is the move that he got his points on before. Looks like he might do it again. This is where Sass's legs advantage comes in. His arms are so long that he can wrap Brown up like that.
Could just see Art Brown break the hold, but another 3 points being awarded to the young man from Cherry Hill East.
Art gets the escape. Now 7-1. Art's got 30 seconds to try and get back in this match.
Now Art Brown with the 7-1 deficit and realizes that he really has to go for it. Almost got him turned. But both wrestlers still in the up position. Six, 5. Gonna about do it.
Final score 7-1 in favor of John Fast.
So it's going to give Cherry Hill East a 26-10 commanding lead, and right now it's almost going to take a miracle for West to get back into it, but they sure can. Coming into
Next up
the heavier weights, and 148 will have Troy Jancy for Cherry Hill West, 4 and 5, a senior against Tommy Nugent, number 12. 10-1 co-captain, one of the premier wrestlers in South Jersey, actually. And we're into that heavy part of that Cherry Hill East lineup, as I mentioned to begin with. See what happens.
Tom, last year as a junior, was second in the district final. Incidentally, he was runner-up to a West wrestler. Nugent's got the takedown. 2 points.
And Nugent lets him up. Two more points for Nugent. And a 1-point escape being awarded, but now a good move by Nugent. Has Jancy in trouble. Going to pick up some points on this. .58 seconds remaining. Okay, Michael Goldman, tell us, what would you do to get out of this one?
Pray.
Good answer. I'm sure that's what Jancy's doing right now. That's a heck of a move that Nugent has on him. 39 seconds.
The ideal thing would be to bridge, but Nugent's got a lot of weight on Jancy's shoulders and he lets him up. Jancy looks like he's hurt. Coach Albany comes out.
Let's see what it is, see if we can pick it up. There's a shot at Troy Jancy. He's a senior with a record of 4 and 5. There's a shot of Tommy Nugent. Frank McAleer, the coach of Cherry Hill East, out on the mat with the young man, and Joe Albany's making sure that nothing seriously wrong with the injured wrestler. Of course, Coach McAleer coaching over here for a few years before going over to Cherry Hill East. Concerned about these wrestlers. Not that he isn't any wrestlers, that is, any opponents that he wrestles, but of course this means a little bit something more to him.
Looks like Troy's right shoulder.
So that will go down for 6 more points for Tommy Nugent. Going to bring us to 158-pound division, and it'll be Mark Stockman, who's 0-1, a junior, going against Danny Martis for Cherry Hill East. 0-4, rather. Danny Martis for Cherry Hill East with a 5-6 record. He's a senior.
This is Mark's first year at wrestling, but he has had some varsity experience.
Team score 32-10 right now, and we have 3 matches left. Should be some good ones. Danny Martis in red for Cherry Hill East against Mark Stoffman in purple for West. And Stoffman with the try for the single leg.
He got it, but out of bounds.
Looks like Martis trying to move right into the cradle hold against Stoffman. But he breaks it.
Picked up a single leg from it, though. And he's got Mark in control right now. They take him down. 2 points for Danny Martis.
Where's Cherry Hill East wrestles in the South Jersey North Conference, Cherry Hill West in the Olympic Conference, American Division. And of course, I think everybody knows about Highland High School down there in Blackwood in the Olympic Conference, American Division. But it seems like these two conferences will be merging this spring is the last word that I had on it. Making, I guess, the Olympic Conference the biggest conference in South Jersey. Again, the team score, 32 for the Cougars of Cherry Hill East, 10 for the Lions of Cherry Hill West.
Right now, this match is 2-0 in favor of Dan Martis, who had the takedown. Mark Stoffers will start down. Mark's taken down hard to the mat. Dan looks in control at this point.
Remember, Martis, the senior, 5-6 record. Stoffman, a junior, 0-4 on the year. Pitcher Fred Rapp sets the wrestlers. 33 seconds remaining in period one. We're at 158. We're getting up with the big guys now. All right, we're down to 10 seconds remaining in this first period.
Mark's in a tough position if he can hold on. And he does.
2 points being awarded to Martis. Make it 4-0 at the end of the first 2-minute period at 158.
In order for two back points to be awarded, the wrestler in control must break the other wrestler's shoulders to an angle less than 90 degrees towards the mat.
The official have a T-square out there to decide that, or?
Well, according to his judgment.
According to his judgment, of course. And he's doing a fine job, as do all the wrestling officials throughout South Jersey. Not an easy job to do to get around out there, but they all really do good work, and they're really concerned about the well-being of the wrestlers at all times out there.
Martis has an airplane on Mark now. Mark gets out of it. Martis turned Mark to his back again. Looks like 3 points for Martis.
He's trying to turn him back. Official has the 3 fingers ready to put up. There they are.
7-0 favor of the Eastman.
There's an escape by Stoffman.
Score now 7-1. Martis goes right to a takedown. Looks like he's got it.
There's 2 more for Danny Martis. Make it 9-1. We're at the 9th match. 158 pounds. As Martis puts that move on again.
Wrestlers roll out of bounds.
2 more points going to Danny Martis.
Wrestling's such a demanding sport. These wrestlers have to work hours after school just to prepare for a 6-minute match.
Hours and hours of rugged work. And, of course, maintaining your weight's a very important thing, too, in wrestling. You have to pass up some of those banana splits sometimes.
The weight requirements are rigid. Before the match, if you're a quarter pound overweight, either you have to get down to that weight before match time or you'll be disqualified.
That's the end of the second period at 1:58 with the score 11 for the Cougar, Dan Martis, and 1 for Mark Stoffman of Cherry Hill West.
Mark will have the up position now. Maybe a chance to get some points.
Going over the scoring at 101, West forfeited to Tom Unfried of Cherry Hill East. At 108, Brian Stanley pinned David Straub. At 1:15 of the match. At 1:15, Glenn Trump, Cherry Hill West, pinned Sean Redmond. 45 seconds remaining in the third period. And there's another safety stoppage by the official, Mr. Rapp, out there, making sure that the knees aren't taken out and no serious injuries occur. Okay, at 1:22, it was Mark Vanderburg of Cherry Hill East with a pin at 26 seconds remaining in the first period over Jack Naughton, making the score 18-6. 1:29, it was Joe Corby, 20 seconds left in the third, pinning John McCall. And there's an escape by Stoffman. .135, we had our first decision. It was Andy Feinberg of Cherry Hill West, 8-0 over Ron Morris of Cherry Hill West. And at 1:41, John Sass, 7-1 decision for Cherry Hill East over Art Brown of Cherry Hill West.
I think Sass is going for some more back points here.
15-2 right now is the score. I think Sass looking for the, or Martis rather, is looking for the pin. There it is.
49 seconds left in the match. Danny Martis with the pin.
Going to make it 38-10. Favor of the Cougars of Cherry Hill East.
Now coming up, there's Mike Hester of West going against Chris Leo.
Chris Leo, the senior at Cherry Hill East with a 7-1 record. Mike Hester of Cherry Hill West, 0-2-1. He's a senior. He's just coming off of a back injury. It's 2 seniors. It's going to be a good match, I think. Going back to the scoring, it's 1:48. It was Tommy Nugent with the victory over Troy Jancy, who was injured in the second period, I believe. 6 points being awarded to Tommy Nugent of Cherry Hill East. Chris Leo in the red, Mike Hester in the purple for Cherry Hill West. We're at 170.
Mike's been on one of Chris's legs. And the ref will bring him back in the middle.
Hester goes for the leg. The arm's locked, but I think they're going to run out of mat. No? Let's see. There they go. Looks like Chris Leo went for the ankle of Hester, but decided to give it up.
These wrestlers are moving all over the mat. They run out again.
Yeah, 44 seconds remaining in the first period of the match. No score as of yet. Neither wrestler really wanting to make that mistake, give up that first point. And Hester now seems to have a good hold on Leo's legs. And off the mat again.
Wrestler still in neutral position. No points awarded to either man.
We're at the big guys now. Coming up next at 188 will be Jarrett Lesday. He's 7-4, a senior, going against Mike Boudreaux, another senior from Cherry Hill East, with a record of 8-3. 170, Chris Leo in the red. There's that mistake as he missed Mike Hester, but that's the end of the first period.
Score still 0-0.
Team points, of course. It's all academic now. Cherry Hill East 38, Cherry Hill West 10.
Michael will be starting in the up position. All right, Chris Leo with the escape. And we'll come back to the standing position.
1 point awarded to the wrestler from Cherry Hill East, Chris Leo. That's the only one thus far, and we've been wrestling for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We're at the 170. Off the mat.
The wrestlers look pretty evenly matched. They're struggling, still stalemate as of yet. Cherry Hill East holds a 1-0 advantage. Chris Leo was having the escape.
There's a takedown. Hester. We have an injury to Chris Leo, the Cougar. Hester being awarded 2 points for that takedown, and they start the injury clock. I think they have a minute to answer the bell. They have just had the wind knocked out of them. Coach Frank McAleer out there being assisted by a good friend of mine, Alex Cuption. And there's a good shot of Coach Frank McAleer. Oh, it looks like it's a cut in the forehead. Could that have been caused by the headgear, or is it in the eye itself? I don't know whether it's contact lenses or a inadvertent finger in the eye or something. What do you think, Michael?
Hard to see. They can put in some antiseptic. Oh, his face looks a little scratched up. Could have been his headgear. Either that or maybe they bumped heads on the way down.
I thought maybe it was the eye. It looks like it was just trying to rinse some blood out of the eye. I'd like to remind everybody that Cherry Hill Education Television is going to try to bring a lot more sporting events and school events to the public as soon as possible. Now that we are going out live, let us know what you think. Don't hesitate to drop us a line or give us a call. any of the AV departments at either high school, Cherry Hill East or Cherry Hill West.
Mike, after the takedown, will start in the up position. He goes right to work.
Leo with the reversal now. He's moving to the pin. He's moving on him. He may have gotten Chris Leo a little upset by that last move. I don't know, but he put life into him. The score now 3-2. Favor of the wrestler from Cherry Hill East, Chris Leo. That's the end of the second period. We have 2 more minutes of wrestling.
All right, Michael starts down, but he's going to have to reverse positions to get back in this match.
And every move Hester took looked like Chris Leo was right with him. Leo really seemed to have taken that cut personally. He's really much more aggressive since that time. Hester doing a fine job with counter moves.
Have to stop the escape.
Make it 5-3 now. Favor of the Cougar. And of course, Mike Hester realizes he can tie this up right now with a takedown. 1:07 remaining in the third period. We're at the 170-pound weight class. Wrestler in the red, Chris Leo, leads at 5-3.
And Mike needs to take down the tie this matchup. But Chris gets the takedown. Scores now 7-3 in favor of the Eastman.
And with 33 seconds remaining, it's going to be awfully tough for Mike Hester to turn it around now. Chris Leo right now in complete control. Mike Hester really looks tired. Of course, both of these guys are tired right now. Again, you can't say enough about that 6 minutes on that wrestling mat being extremely long.
And winding down to the final seconds, Chris is still in control. There's the buzzer.
Make a 7-3 decision in favor of Chris Leo. Another 3 points picked up by the Cougars of Cherry Hill East. Make it 41-10. That's going to bring us to 188. That's Jarrett Lesday in the purple for Cherry Hill West, going against Mike Boudreau, senior from Cherry Hill East. He has an 8-3 record. Lesday with a 7-4 record. 2 points, or no points, excuse me, yet being awarded. There they are, 2 points for Boudreau of Cherry Hill East. Lesday, third place in the Edgewood tournament over Christmas. And there's what he's doing out there.
We got 2 seniors. Should be a good match.
Boudreau tries for that cradle. He can turn him.
Looks like Boudreau is turning himself.
Sometimes those moves can get you in more trouble, can't they, Michael?
You bet.
Lesday going for the reversal. He should have the escape now.
The Eastman's barely holding on to his advantage.
I guess the leg is the advantage he has.
That's it. If Lesday can unlock that leg, he's got the escape.
has a leg out.
Yeah, he's got it.
That should be at least one. No points being awarded yet. You can see the hand of Boudreaux back on the leg of Lesday now. Garrett Lesday trying to roll Boudreaux over, even though Boudreaux's supposedly in advantage still.
Boudreaux still got that leg.
There's the reversal by Lesday. 2-2 the score now. Now the question is, can Jarrett Lesday hold on?
There's 10 seconds left in this period.
Yes, he maintains control. Good move by Lesday to get out of that jam.
The score's tied after the first period, 2-2. And Lesday will be starting on the bottom.
So a prime example of the importance of controlling legs in wrestling.
They're really tied up now.
I'll tell you, there's been times I've been covering some of these wrestling matches and looked out there and really could not determine whose legs were whose.
The referee stopped the action, said it was a stalemate. Wasn't too much motion between the wrestlers, so he decided to bring it back to the referee's position. All right, ref calls another stalemate. He'll bring him back into the center. Garrett looks like he's almost got an escape.
There again, the legs of Boudreaux. He's got to pull all the way out. And Boudreaux's really hanging on with the legs. "33 seconds remaining in the second period. We're at the last match at 188. Remember, the heavyweight was forfeited. Give that win to Ed Hendrickson of Cherry Hill East. Lesday with the head just about out. Boudreaux hanging on now.
All right, 10 seconds.
There it is.
Lesday's got the escape. The reversal.
Give him 2 for the reversal. 4-2 in favor of the home guys. Lesday with a 7-4 record, a senior. Boudreaux, on the other hand, with an 8-3. Also a senior. These guys are close in records, close in size, and close in builds out there. Very similar. Again, Lesday on top in the purple. He's got the lead, 4-2. All he has to do is maintain control for the next minute and 35 seconds, and he has it, but he has to be cautious that he doesn't get called for stalling or he doesn't get too over anxious. Boudreaux's certainly not going to sit back there and let it go.
Ref calls another stalemate. Start him at the referee's position again.
You say this is more of an advantage for Boudreaux to start over again in the referee's position?
Probably. Didn't look like either wrestler had an advantage there.
No, I mean right now, going from the referee's position is an advantage to the disadvantaged wrestler, yes. To sit out or spin out or whatever. Good move by Lesday to maintain control.
Boudreaux tried to switch. Lesday re-switched and came back on top.
Under a minute now.
Boudreaux's just been called with a stalling warning.
It wasn't Boudreaux who was charged with the stalling. It wasn't a stalling warning for Boudreaux. It was a stall warning against Lesday of Cherry Hill West. And they just called him for stalling, award at one point to Cherry Hill East. I was going to say, with that stall warning towards Boudreaux, wouldn't bother Lesday a bit, but of course it was against the wrestler on top.
Charles got some back points now. He can hold on. He's got the advantage in the match.
He may pull this pin off. There's the time on your screen.
He's got 10 seconds left.
One second, that's going to do it.
Boudreaux held out. Leslie still comes away with the win. 7-3.
And make that final score. The Cougars of Cherry Hill East 41. The Lions of Cherry Hill West 13. To recap the scoring before you go away, at 101 it was a forfeit. Okay, let me recheck that score. Thanks for pointing that out. 47 because of the 6 points in the forfeit of the heavyweight. And there it is right there. Eric Henderson being awarded that victory. At 101 it was a forfeit. Cherry Hill West giving 6 points to Tommy Unfried of Cherry Hill East. At 108, it was Brian Stanley of Cherry Hill East with a pin at 1:15 of the first period, 12-0. At 1:15, it was Glenn Trump of Cherry Hill West. 45 seconds of the third period, making the score 12-6. At 1:22, it was Mark Vanderberg of Cherry Hill East with a pin of Jack Norton at 26 of the first period. At 1:29, it was Joe Corby with a pin. That came at 20 seconds left in the third period. At that point, there was a 1 point deducted from Cherry Hill East, if you remember, because of something happened at that match, making the score 21 for 23 for Cherry Hill East, 6 for Cherry Hill West. At 1:35, we had our first decision. It was Andy Feinberg of Cherry Hill West with an 8-0 decision over Ron Marsh, awarding Cherry Hill West 4 points, making it 10 for the Lions, 23 for the Cougars. At 1:41, it was a 7-1 decision for John Stass of Cherry Hill East. At 1:48, it was an injury forfeit, actually, awarded to Tom Nugent when Troy Chansey injured his shoulder or something, was unable to continue, making the score at that point 32 for the Cougars, 10 for the Lions. At 1:58, it was Dan Martis for the Cougars of Cherry Hill East, with a pin of 49 seconds remaining in the third period over Mark Stoffman. At 1:70, it was Chris Leo of Cherry Hill East with a 7-3 decision over Mike Hesser, making the score 41-10. At 1:88, it was Jarrett Lesday, an exciting match right up to the end with a decision over Mike Boudreaux, awarding 3 points to the Lions, giving them 13 points. Then at heavyweight, it was Ed Hendrickson accepting the forfeit, making the final score 47 for Cherry Hill East, 13 for the Lions of Cherry Hill West. And Michael, it's been my pleasure to be working with you. I'll say one thing, for doing it the first time, you did a whole lot better than I did, as I remember the first time that I did it. Like to thank these people, and Michael, how about if you do the honor of thanking our camera people?
On cameras, we had Troy Collins and Mitch Weinraub. I'd like to thank them. They did a good job covering the action. And on sound, we had Mary Beth Wren.
Okay, I'd also like to thank our engineer tonight, our director, Gordy Hampton, and down in the control room, Mr. Alan Haas. These are the people to put this together. So for Michael Goldman, this is Jim Powell. Until next time, enjoy your sports.
That was fun. Nice working with you.